A couple showers and thunderstorms to start off your morning, courtesy of the cold front that came through yesterday. Now is beginning to stall out across much of the Lone Star State of Texas. And we can even see the surface low, how some showers and storms are even forming around it this morning, in which right now the bulk of the activity, we're seeing a stronger line of showers and storms beginning to push out of our region, especially over into near areas of like Sutton County and Crockett County, still with a couple showers and storms with some light to moderate rainfall over into near Pecos County, pushing into Reeves County this morning, where we have a flash flood warning in effect over into Toya and even along it towards southeastern Crockett County this morning, in which the majority of this rain is very light in nature, but we are seeing some heavier pockets of rain where there's been some isolated totals near 3 inches of rain into southeastern Crockett County, with some isolated totals near 4 inches of rain plus into near Toya this morning. So there could be definitely instances of some localized flooding and even some ponding on the roads, especially if you are traveling westbound from Midland and Odessa this morning. So you want to give yourself a little bit of additional time for that commute, and remember, if you see some flooded roadways, it's always best to turn around and do not drown, as right now we are starting to see a bit more in the way of a couple showers beginning to form over into near El Dorado, even into Coleman, along into portions of the Heartland, with the bulk of the activity pushing in along into near the Red River into the Wichita Falls area, with some showers and storms beginning to shift off towards the east. So this activity in the basin, there could still be a few little spot storms as we head into around 8 a.m., but the bulk of it is going to remain along and towards the Heartland as we head in towards around 8 a.m. And we'll be able to see this kind of broken line of showers and storms begin to push off towards the east along and towards the I-35 corridor. And by the time we work into your afternoon, it's going to be mostly dry across the region. And but before we see a few little spot storms begin to form again as we head in towards your afternoon hours, mostly along and towards higher terrain, but the coverage is going to remain fairly low. And I expect after this line of storms move through for the Big Country Contra Valley, will remain dry for the majority of the day, with the bulk of the little isolated storms for our western county still could try to produce some brief heavy rainfall and some frequent lightning, and some of the strongest of storms, maybe some small hail and some gusty winds, but I think that threat overall does remain low for at least for our western counties for today. So because of the cold front, we'll be into the 80s and 90s today, but we'll warm up well into the triple digits quite quickly as we head into Sunday and Monday. So we're not done with the heat yet. So especially with any outdoor activities this weekend, you want to make sure you are drinking plenty of water, wearing some light colored clothing and some loose fit clothing, and make sure you are taking those frequent breaks and not forgetting about the sunscreen, especially not forgetting your kids or your pets. But we'll pick up on some breezier conditions, which at times could try to make it feel just a little bit better, but we'll start to see a little bit of moisture trying to increase into the forecast again as we head into around the middle of next week, at least for some of the mugginess out the door. But right now, downtown Odessa, we have a cloudy sky that's beginning to form. The roads are wet this morning from a couple showers we saw this morning. A mix of temperatures, 60s and 70s out the door, some 80s over near the hill country. That's where we have a lot of that moisture building in this morning. 91 in Midland today, 90 in Abilene, 92 San Angelo. Working through your 7-day forecast, 30% coverage of showers and storms today. The bulk of it's going to be into the early morning hours for San Angelo and Abilene, but I do anticipate for your afternoon and evening, we should be onto the drier side. We'll see a couple more storms in the afternoon for the basin, but the coverage remains low, around 30%, before we see drier conditions and 104 heading into Father's Day. Victor?
Thanks.